Hi everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at and swatch the colors from Natasha Denona's Safari All Matte Eyeshadow Palette. This is a limited edition palette that is available for purchase through Sephora. I will put a link in the description box below to where you can find it if you want to buy, and a link to Ebates so that you can get cash back on your order if you do purchase anything from pretty much any store online. This palette has been out for a little while. It's not brand new, but there were other reviews that I thought were more high in demand and more urgent, so that's why this one is a little bit late. Please remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on videos like this, and to follow on Instagram. Alright, let's get swatching these new shades from Natasha Denona's Safari Eyeshadow Palette. Alright, so this palette retails for $129. It has 15 eyeshadow shades in Natasha's matte formula. Apparently this was created after many requests for her to design a matte palette. It is Safari inspired, offering wearable warms, cool muted tones, and unique medium to dark shades to complement your current collection. Natasha creates her palettes so that any 3 shades in a row can be used to create an entire look. The top row has cool muted and gray tones, the middle row is warmer in tone, and the bottom row has highly requested rich reddish tones. Okay, for the packaging we have a magnetically closing palette with a full-size mirror in the lid, and these are your shades. We have the names of each shade imprinted on the bottom of the corresponding pan. And here's a look at the shades that we will be swatching. I will swatch them from the first row to the middle to the bottom row, left to right. And as always, I will swatch them over eyeshadow primer using an eyeshadow brush. So the first shade is Malia, which is a pastel pink. Fata Morgana, it says is a dark turquoise. To me this is a deep navy blue. I don't see any green in this color to make it turquoise. Maybe I take that back. I guess kind of as it's settling, maybe I see a hint, but I think it's much more blue than turquoise. Rhino is a dark gray-green. Stone is a light gray. Savannah is a medium dusty army green. Aya is a light nude. We're starting with the middle row now. Thorn is a medium warm brown. Desert Date is a light to medium dusty peach. I would say definitely medium peach, not light. Shea is a dark brown. Tribe is a medium bright terracotta. Lotus is a dusty rose. Amhara is a medium dusty coral. Masai is a medium aubergine. I think this is more, it's slightly berry toned as opposed to really a eggplant color. Voodoo is a deep aubergine. And Tamarind is a sand shade. Alright, so there are your 15 matte finish shades, and here's a close-up look at the shades. My first impression of the formula is that they applied very smoothly for the most part. A little bit of patchiness in the middle of the shades, that middle row, which is kind of surprising because those are the most common shades, I would say. So you would think that those would be the easiest to formulate, but there was a little more patchiness on those. Good color and pigmentation on these colors. They are pretty opaque for being matte shades. One of the claims that the company makes is that these are not at all dusty and that there is a zero fallout formula. I don't know if I would agree with that 100%. They certainly are not super chalky or super crumbly. They are just a little bit dusty though when I do these swatches, and I kind of have to blow on the top of the swatch to get rid of that excess product. That is partially a result of me putting more product on the brush because the area that I do the swatches over is going to be larger than your lid space, so I need more product to cover more space, but it is also a product of the formula of these shades. All right, so there are the swatches for Natasha Denona's All Matte Eyeshadow Palette. I think that this is a good quality palette, but again, as with pretty much anything from Natasha Denona when it comes to these larger eyeshadow palettes, the question is the price. $130 almost for 15 shades just seems so excessive to me. And I know there are some people who just love her products and think that any amount of money pretty much is worth it. But when I think of other palettes that are comparable in price, I just feel like overall the quality of those palettes is more impressive. Now, of course, this is a little harder to compare because it is an all matte palette, so it fulfills a very specific niche in the market for palettes. But when I think of Pat McGrath's matte formula, and even in my experience with past Natasha Denona palettes, even with her shimmering shades versus a Pat McGrath shimmering shade, I would just rather spend my money on the Pat McGrath products. Not only the packaging is more luxurious, the formula and the colors are more luxurious. So at the end of the day, that's more of a personal preference in terms of whether you think that the money is worth it, depending on how much money you have available, how much money you're just personally willing to spend, etc. But those are my overall thoughts. Please let me know in the comment section below what you think of the formula, of the shades, of having an all matte palette available, etc. I hope this video was helpful to you and that you enjoyed. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video.